When did you first grow curious about the paranormal? Dare you dig deeper? You are listening to Hounds of Asher.
Hello and welcome. It's been a hot minute. Welcome to the House of Asher. This is your host, Steve Asher, and was going to do a little short segment. I'm doing shorter segments. I'm working a lot. I am working far more than I ever wanted to at the ripe age of 54. So these little segments here and there are going to be kind of few and far between, as you've already noticed. Was going to talk a little bit about tonight the theory about certain ages, certain conditions, certain placements either encourage paranormal activity or allow you to connect with the paranormal more easily than, say, when you're maybe 20 years old. I'm sure a lot of people have heard, and maybe even had this happen in your own family with little ones, talking anything from seeing somebody, hearing something, having some activities, paranormal activity going on in their area. And it seems like it generally tapers off past puberty, and what you're left with is what I like to lovingly call the grind. School, marriage for a lot of people, definitely work, all the responsibilities, all the trappings of dealing with all those schedules and bosses and in-laws and barbecues and all that sort of stuff that goes into domestic bliss. Even if you're not married, it's probably even worse. But it does seem like after a while, we've all had some family members. Maybe you're that family member. You get to a certain age, filter's pretty much done. You're not necessarily going to be mean, but you're going to say what you feel. So then you're left with a very honest person who is pretty clear-minded, which I think sometimes lends itself to paranormal subjects and if not the ability, maybe just the clarity, because I think we all have that. I think all this stuff that people say is paranormal is very much normal, but by way of society and social mores and whatnot, religious indoctrination, we tend to kind of push it down. So, but you get to a certain point, a lot of us, even if you aren't maybe saying things publicly, you definitely have more time in the rear view than out in front of you. So people, I don't know, something happens. And I believe that's true if you talk to people that work in hospices or people that work in nursing homes, people who work different situations. Say someone is in a facility, nursing home, hospice, assisted living, whatnot. When you limit the different stimuli that you are exposed to, therein lies either the opportunity to experience certain types of phenomenon. Some people might argue this opens you up for certain entities to try to feed on you, to influence you, to cause depression and things like that, to make your life worse. It sort of depends on your belief system, I guess, but I don't know. I'm very curious about it. I think that when you do sort of narrow your bandwidth. Get rid of a lot of that white noise, brown noise, whatever kind of noise it is. And you kind of get your life whittled down to a little bit more basic stuff. Okay? It's the same with kids, little kids. You know, want mommy or daddy, want snacky time, want to play, and want a nap. Well, probably don't want a nap, but at this point I'll take one. But, again, their world is extremely uncomplicated, streamlined, and a lot of times it seems like the older you get, the more that becomes a thing too. I can only really speak for myself and older people that I have spoke to about this. I wish I had the clarity to ask some of these questions in my teens and early 20s. I had a lot of family that's now on the other side of the curtain, as it were, and damn, I just wish I could have had some of their knowledge. But here I am, doing what I can now, and that's why I try to share as much as I can with whoever will listen to it. I don't try to sell anybody on the paranormal, but I know that I've definitely felt presences. I've definitely felt energies. I've definitely felt intentions, even in people. I'm not even talking about a spirit or whatever. Excuse me. But I do believe it's like any tool, your intuition, gut, whatever you want to call it. The more you use it, the better it is, and more readily can you call upon this. I do think that, and this might be a regional thing too, and it might be, I don't know. I assume people who live in bigger cities are bombarded with so much going on. It would be hard to focus unless you're sort of a solitary person. You might be walking among 100,000 people and feel completely alone, feel completely isolated. And in that situation, you might be able to catch glimpses of things and experience certain things that's beyond normal. But I am curious what you guys think about it. As I told you before, I'm going to keep this short. But what I want to hear is, be it on my Facebook page, which is House of Asher. You might be listening to this on Spotify. You might be listening to this on Spreaker. You might be listening to this on iHeartRadio. Leave a comment. Leave comments on what you feel about this and your take on this, if you've had any experiences on this, and different suggestions for shows you may want to listen to or places you want me to talk about. Definitely love doing this. I'm very much in what I called earlier the grind, paying off some old bills and things like that, trying to get ahead of the game. It's always good to be debt-free if you can. But do, please, keep me up and keep me going for it. I want to keep this program going, so let me know. Go to Stevie Asher Studios. Google that. You can find out about my books, my shows, my appearances, and all kinds of neato stuff. So until next time, as the sun sets behind the pines and darkness comes, please make sure to check under your bed, down the dark hallway. Maybe check in on some family that's older. We'd love to hear from you. But until next time, my friends, stay scared.